Hello and a very good afternoon once again from Sheffield, Meadowhall Shopping Centre to be precise. Now that I've managed to get a cheeky shot of the inside of the shopping centre without being interrogated by mall security, it's time to head into Sheffield city centre, and I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to showcase the city's network of trams. So as I make the short walk to Meadowhall Interchange, let's take a quick delve into the history of trams in Sheffield. The history of trams in Sheffield can be traced all the way back to 1873. Initially, the lines were operated by the Sheffield Tramways Company, and the trams would have been drawn by horses. However, when the local council took over operation of the trams in the mid-1890s, the lines were all electrified. From there, the network was expanded on until the mid-1930s, with services even running as far as neighbouring Rotherham. However, after the Second World War, tram service in the city gradually declined, much to the protest of many locals, with the final tram services running on the 8th of October 1960. A few trams were preserved at the National Tramway Museum in Christchurch, Derbyshire, where you can still ride them today. Bar this, Sheffield's tramway was consigned to the history books. That was until the mid-1980s, when plans were put forward for a new system of trams, with Sheffield Supertrams starting operations in March of 1994, ending a 33-year hiatus of tram services in the city. Today's journey will see us travelling on the Yellow Line from Meadowhall Interchange to Castle Square in the city centre. Most of the route will actually see us travelling along the oldest part of the Supertram network, with the portion between Meadowhall and our penultimate stop, Fizzleland Square, being what the original 1994 network comprised of. In the 29 years since operations began, the network has been expanded on several times, with there now being 4 lines coming in at 21.5 miles in length in total. Now, Meadowhall Interchange is only a short walk from the shopping centre itself, with the tram stop being located in the same complex as the bus station, as well as the mainline train station. I must admit, having never used the Supertram system before, I was a bit confused as to how to buy a ticket. However, I soon deduced that you simply buy your tickets on board. You can certainly tell that Stagecoach, who operate the trams, are best known for running buses here. Both cash and card are accepted, with tickets usually starting at £2.20 for a single, £3.70 for a return, and £4.80 for a day ticket. However, singles are currently capped at £2 until the end of June, as part of a scheme to help with the cost of living crisis. Cheers Brexit. Anyway, most of Sheffield's Supertram services are operated by these 3-car-long Siemens-Duewag units. I really hope I'm saying that right. These make up 25 of the city's 32-strong fleet of trams, having first entered service when the tram system opened in 1994. They have capacity for up to 86 seated passengers, as well as plenty of space for standing passengers, which is good as these trams do get really quite busy, especially through the city centre. And we set off on our 17-minute journey to the city centre. As we do, let's just take a brief look at exactly where we'll be going. We'll generally head southwest via the likes of Carbrook and Attercliffe before arriving into Castle Square in the city centre. As for the seats, well, legroom isn't bad at all for a tram, even with someone sitting opposite you. And the seat padding isn't too bad either. I actually found these seats to be really quite cushy and very comfortable. After briefly running alongside the M1, we skirt around the rest of the Meadowhall complex. I will say that the acceleration of these trams is really quite something. They take absolutely no time at all to get going after each stop. Also, as trams go, I found the ride quality to be really good. Much like Manchester's Metrolink system that we took a look at last time out, a lot of Sheffield Supertram system seems to run on dedicated tracks, away from the street, although nowhere near to the extent of their Mancunian counterparts. Now, you'll have to forgive me for being on the completely wrong side of the tram, but shortly before arriving at Nunnery Square, we passed the Supertram depot, which is actually made up of old railway sidings. We then crossed the A57, which runs to Liverpool and Lincoln, westbound and eastbound respectively. Well, they say all roads lead to home, all lines lead to Park Square, at least on the Supertram network. We then cross Park Square Bridge and arrive into our final intermediate stop, Fizerland Square, which is one of 3 stops to be served by all 4 lines. Now, as it'll soon be time to get off, I think it's time we headed for a wander. Wheelchair spaces and priority seats can be found by the entry doors, and the good news is that these trams feature step-free access, which is always great to see. The middle coach just features regular seats facing one another, with this car not even featuring any entry doors. And finally, the front coach is just a carbon copy of the rear. Given that this is a tram, I think it goes without saying that there are no toilets on board. And that's about it. Welcome to Castle Square, I guess. This tram now continues on to Middlewood, via the University of Sheffield and Hillsborough. Anyway, always good to get to try out a tram system. We really should have more of these in the UK, as it certainly beats taking the bus. Right, that's all from me for now then. I do hope you enjoyed this little bonus video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, comment and subscribe to the channel, as all of them help me out immensely. Also, let me know what tram system you'd like to see covered next. I might make a bit of a thing out of sometimes doing tram and local transit videos midweek. Special thanks as always goes to my fantastic patrons and channel members for helping me make all of my work possible. If you want to join them in supporting the channel from just £1, $1 or €1 per month, then you'll find the relevant links in the description below. With that, all that's left for me to say is thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you all on Friday.